What's humpin', Randy Canines? Welcome back to Monkey Boys Toys, and welcome back to the sofa. Thanks very much for joining me again. Here's a cherry tomato to look at. Now, today I'm going to be diving into the rich lore of the Transformers universe and shining the spotlight on the iconic Decepticon Seeker Jets. Now, these awesome aerial warriors have been a staple of the franchise since its inception. So let's take a closer look at the original 6 planes and maybe uncover some interesting facts about each one along the way. First of all, I need to remove the cherry tomato, and I will eat it. Delicious. Okay, so our first Decepticon Seeker is none other than the squadron leader, Starscream, the conniving and treacherous air commander of the Decepticon fleet. Now, Starscream is known for his insatiable thirst for power and his constant schemes to overthrow the Decepticon leader, Megatron. Starscream's ult mode is an F-15 Eagle, which you can see here, and this makes him one of the fastest and most manoeuvrable Seekers in the Decepticon fleet. And no, this is not one of the aircraft featured in Top Gun. Now, before we move on to the other planes, I just want to point out a few things to look out for. If you're looking to buy any of these on the secondary market. Firstly, they should all have removable landing gear, which you can see here. Secondly, the missiles. Now, they all came with long missiles, as you can see on Starscream here. They also came with short missiles. Now, usually the colour of these missiles is matched to the individual characters. So, for example, Starscream here has light grey, Skywarp has black missiles, Thundercracker has a dark blue colour scheme to his missiles, and Thrust has burgundy missiles. The remaining 2 jets, Dirge and Ramjet, don't have working missile launchers. They're instead equipped with sort of quite large bombs or missiles under their wings. Now, during this video, I'm afraid I won't be showing any of these planes in their robot mode. Instead, I will pop a picture just up here, as you can see. There are 2 reasons why I won't be displaying these in their robot mode. The first of which being that I really can't be asked to transform them all. It's pure laziness on my part, but there you go. I always display these in their plane mode anyway. I think they look much better that way. To be honest, I think that the robot mode leaves a lot to be desired. The second reason I won't be transforming these into robot mode today is because, rather distressingly, I seem to have lost my bag containing all of their fists. Which is the third thing to look out if you're buying these on the secondary market. They should have fists that come with them. And again, they are more often than not colour matched to the jets. So Starscream has dark blue, Skywarp has sort of a light purple. I think the rest might have black fists. Perhaps Thundercracker may have blue. It's worth doing your homework just to make sure that you've got the right colour fists with the jet. And just quickly before we move on, I want to point out nose rub. Now, it's not just Jedi Luke that has an issue with nose rub. If you're buying one of these, try to make sure that the nose cone here hasn't sort of started to crack or perish. These nose cones were often chewed by kids back in the 80s, so make sure you examine any photos carefully. The nose cones were made of rubber, so they could be easily squeezed through the chest cavity during the transformation without damaging the toy. But anyway, now you know what to look out for. Let's get back to the rundown of the Seeker Jets. So this one's Starscream, and off he goes. Okay, so next up we have Skywarp, the teleporting warrior of the skies. Now, Skywarp possesses the unique ability to teleport short distances, which makes him a very tricky adversary on the battlefield, or to be more precise, the skies above the battlefield. His ult mode is an F-15 as well, as you can see here, but it's his teleportation power that really sets him apart from the other Seeker Jets. Just up here is an artist's impression of Skywarp in robot mode. Again, I won't be transforming any of these jets today, but there we go. There's Skywarp. If we just place him here for a second, I'd also like to show you my masterpiece version of Skywarp. Here we go. I keep him in jet mode, as you can see, displayed on his stand here. A fantastic Fantastic figure or fantastic Transformer. Quite difficult to transform, if I'm honest, but this Masterpiece version really is a masterpiece. Now, Skywarp would be my favourite of the Seeker Jets if it weren't for the next jet that I'm going to show you. But let's remove Skywarp Masterpiece from the shot, and also the G1 Skywarp here. Let's just show you the underneath of him. I'm not sure that I showed you. Look, here's an example of the shorter missile. There you go. So this is the shorter version of the missiles, and then the longer version. They came with both versions. I only have one long missile for Skywarp, unfortunately. I think they look better with the long missiles, but there we go. Anyway, let's take him out of the shot. Okay, so next up is my personal favourite of the Seeker Jets, which is Thundercracker. I always loved his colour scheme, and he always seemed quite exotic to me because I didn't have him as a child, and I didn't know anyone else who had him, so I guess he was always an object of desire, as it were. Now, of course, he shares the same F-15 disguise mode as Starscream and Skywarp, but in my opinion, he looks the coolest. Now, Thundercracker is known for his calm and collected demeanour, and he's quite a formidable force in the air. A fun fact about Thundercracker is that, similar to Starscream, he often questions the Decepticon cause, which can cause a bit of conflict within the Seeker ranks. But he's definitely my top of the Seekers, and I think he also has the best name, although Starscream and Skywarp are pretty badass names as well, I guess. But yeah, so here we go. Here's Thundercracker. I'll pop a picture up here. But there we go. So there's my personal favourite, Thundercracker. Let's remove him and move on to the fourth Seeker. So here we go. This is Dirge. Now, this Decepticon jet is distinctive for his ominous wail, which instills fear in his enemies. His alt mode is also an F-15, although as you can see, the wings are of a different design to the previous three Seekers that I've shown you. Dirge is often seen as a more subdued and contemplative member of the squadron, and he's one of the most colourful Seekers in the squadron as well, as you can see here. An unusual colour scheme, but I think the sort of browny gold colour and the blue work very well together. He doesn't have working missile launchers. He just has these two large missiles or bombs underneath his wings here. But yeah, there's Dirge. I'll pop a picture again up in the corner of Dirge in robot mode. But there we go. There's Dirge. He'll fly off, and we'll bring in the next one. Okay, and here we have Ramjet. Now, what sets Ramjet apart is his unique nose cone. Now, it doesn't look particularly different on the toys, but he had a very strong nose cone which provided him with enhanced ramming capabilities. Now, in jet mode, Ramjet is, yes, you've guessed it, an F-15. Again, his wings are different to that which we saw on Dirge, and of course different to the first three Seeker Jets that I showed you. Now, Ramjet's desire for charging headfirst into battle makes him quite a force to be reckoned with. I must say, Ramjet is probably my least favourite of the jets, but he's still pretty cool in his own way. Here's a picture of Ramjet in his robot mode. Yeah, so there we go. Ramjet, again, underneath his wings here, he has these large bombs or missiles. I'm not sure what they are, but they don't fire. They're not working missiles. They just sit underneath his wings there. But there we go. There's Ramjet, our penultimate Seeker Jet. So he can fly off. Okay, and the last of the Seeker Jets is Thrust. Now, I think nearly everyone had Thrust when I was growing up. He seemed to be everywhere. This seemed to be the most widely available of the Seeker Jets. And I think nearly all my friends who collected Transformers had Thrust. I think I've probably got 3 or 4 of them because I wanted to piece together one that was in the best shape and get the best example that I could. Quite often with Transformers, kids would put the stickers on badly, either in the wrong place or put them on sort of in a wonky fashion. So I actually bought several Thrust figures so that I could piece together the best example possible, which is the one you're looking at now. Now he rounds out the squadron of Decepticon Seekers, and he brings a bit of a different design to the table. He has VTOL capabilities, VTOL, which stands for vertical takeoff and landing, and as you can see here, we've got the turbine fans here in the center of his wings. I'm not quite sure how they would work, given that the underneath of the fans or the engines there is where the missile is housed, so that's a bit peculiar. But anyway, this feature is unique to Thrust, and I guess it gave him incredible versatility in the skies. So yeah, there's Thrust. If I pop him there for a second, I'll just show a quick picture up here of Thrust in robot mode. Let's see if we can sit him there. I also have a world's smallest transformer Thrust here, which is quite a cool little thing. This transforms in exactly the same way as the large toy does. So here's a mini Thrust for you to look at with your eyes. Let's remove that, and let's take Thrust out of the shot. Let's get all 6 of the jets back in the scene, and we'll have a look at them. And there you have it, a bit of a closer look at the original 6 Decepticon Seekers: Starscream, Skywarp, Thundercracker, Dirge, Ramjet, and of course Thrust. Now these iconic Transformers have left quite a mark on the franchise, both in their unique abilities and their roles in the eternal struggle between the Autobots and the Decepticons. But now we've reached the end of the video, so if you enjoyed this quick dive into the Seeker Jets, why not give the video a thumbs up and share it with any other randy canines you may know. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and do let me know in the comments which Seeker is your favourite. Right, I'm going to make like a shepherd and get the flock out of here. See you later. Bye!